Welcome back to RX Muscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2018, brought to you by Redcon1. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we have another video coming up for you, another interview with CEO of Redcon, Aaron Singerman. And Aaron, you know, our videos lately that we've been doing based on how to make money in the business, how to be a businessman in the bodybuilding world, have been very successful. So given the fact that you're going to have a humongous booth at the upcoming Olympia Expo, we'll be there doing a lot of interviews at your booth. I wanted to learn a little bit, I wanted to teach our viewers a little bit more about, you know, what it is to be successful online. Because let's face it, most marketing now is directed online. No one does magazine ads anymore. Very little money is being spent anyplace else other than online, but it seems like no one knows where to put their money properly. Obviously, venues like rxmuscle.com is important because, you know, we're the pulse of the bodybuilding world. We do a lot of interviews with people, so it's important to put some money there. But you know, there's other avenues. Viral video marketing seems to be very big in today's world. You seem to have capitalized on that a lot, and I'm looking to learn a little from you too. So I got my notes out. I'm going to be taking some notes today. What does it mean to create a viral video, and how do you go about doing it, and what do you think are the rules to a successful one?
So, Dave, first off, thank you for having me back on again, and it's always a pleasure to come on and talk to you, and especially about business, because obviously this is my big passion, you know, just like it was bodybuilding in the past, and then supplements, and supplements has carried on into the world of digital marketing and business in general. So thank you for having me on. And I would say that video marketing, videos in general, are really the future. So in the past, you know, when marketing, digital marketing began, you saw a lot of static ads that were just a picture, something appealing to the eye. And as video has grown, as you know, YouTube has become a huge thing where people are making great monies, livings doing YouTube videos. And video has become tremendous for ads. And Facebook has actually become the leading proprietor of videos. And so Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram's also really humongous with videos, combined doing over 100 billion views a day. I mean, it's insane what kind of numbers are being done on these platforms. And so it becomes more and more important as you try to build a brand or build your own personal brand to utilize video to do that. And so I guess today what we're going to do is talk about a few different types of video ads and kind of go through explaining what it takes to make a good viral video. Because for a lot of you guys that don't have the money to spend to push the video, and also even if you do have the money to push the video, it's very important to make your videos popular and to make them get interactions with people, because that's ultimately what it's about.
So explain to me, you know, what goes into a good viral video? Like when you sit down and you guys, you know, you've done some that have been, you know, people have liked, and some that people didn't like. For some reason, when I liked the one when you did the shaker one, where it looked like the guy was like kind of masturbating, but it was actually you just doing it, shaking up things, you know, shaking up the shake. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good, but a lot of people were offended by it. But like, so what makes one where people will like it and then one where people won't like it, or does it matter for that fact?
So, so the truth is that, like what you just said, the video, the shaker video, which incidentally I didn't prepare that one for today, although I guess I could have. We do so much video. You know, 3 in-house video people that all day long are working on video, and then we have one kind of out and about video guy who's also excellent. And so we have a pretty big video team, and they're constantly producing stuff. So since the shaker video came out about a year ago, we've done thousands of videos, and we right now have probably about 75 videos that are being paid, and we're paying to show to people online. And so we have all these campaigns. Right now we have 1,000 digital marketing campaigns running right now simultaneously. So
Aaron, what would be the purpose of having 1,000 videos? That seems like a little outlandish almost to me. You know, 50 would be a lot to me. 1,000 sounds like, you know, it's just too much at that point.
So Dave, so if you think of one campaign, so we're thinking of a campaign, it could be the same video being shown to different groups of people for different purposes.
Oh, okay.
So you can repurpose one video 100 different ways.
Gotcha.
And show it to different groups of people and have different purposes. So that video that you said, the shaker video, right? It was me pretending to, you couldn't see what I was doing, right? I'm doing like this. And that video, like you said, some people found it offensive. Most people loved it because it had a good punchline at the end, and I obviously wasn't really jerking off.
Right.
That video, though, was extremely disruptive. And that is one of the things that goes into making a really good video, is you need to have something that stops you from scrolling. Because what do you do on your phone, right? You scroll, scroll,
Right.
scroll. What do you do on the computer? Scrolling. And let's face it, as people figure out that video is powerful for advertising, there's more and more competition. So if you are just if it's just me sitting here talking to the screen,
Right.
Unless I'm doing something crazy, you're just going to scroll right by it because it doesn't mean anything to you.
Gotcha.
So the jerking video, right? People immediately see that and go, what's this idiot doing, right? And they stop and they take a look at it.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, Dave, if you don't mind, let's play the first video because this is a disruptive video and I want to show exactly how it worked and go through.
This is not as disruptive as the one where Aaron was actually it looked like he was masturbating.
You know what? I disagree with you, and I'll tell you why after the video. So
Okay, let's run it first. The one with the girl coming out of the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teeth video.
All right.
Is your protein bar so hard and chewy you lose your teeth trying to eat it? The MRE bar by Redcon1 has a soft whole food core made with beef, chicken, salmon, and eggs. Totally unique and ridiculously delicious. Choose the MRE whole food bar and have something to really smile about.
Okay. Tell us what. Well, I guess the disruption would be her the hot girl coming out of the water.
All right. So this is an important note, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna actually move on to our next little asset because I can talk about it better if he shows the screenshot that I sent him, Taylor, of the actual ad itself. Does he have that one?
Yeah. Yeah. The ad's up.
Let me know when it's up there on the screen.
It's up there.
Okay. So if you look at that picture, right, what's the first thing that you see in the screenshots? That's a screen grab of the thumbnail.
Boobs. Yeah.
You see the butt and the boobs from the side, right?
Well, no butt. The screenshot is just boobs.
Oh no, you may have the wrong one then. Okay, so I'll actually show it to the screen here. I may have sent you an incorrect one because that's in the middle. That's a screenshot in the middle of the ad. Here, I'll pull it up here. I got it right here. It's important to
I'm disrupted already though by what I saw.
Oh, this is even better. Okay, so can you see there?
Your butt. I'm seeing butt.
So you see from the side, okay?
Yeah.
So now, as you're scrolling, keep in mind, we're marketing this specific ad to a men, 18 to 34-year-old men. That's who this ad's going to.
That's the demographic you pick on Facebook when you pick demographics?
I picked for this particular ad. Now, we have different ads I wouldn't show this ad specifically to 45-year-old women because we do have ads for 45-year-old women. Because they'll see this and they'll be like, they'll probably see it and immediately dislike us, right? So this ad, when a man sees this who is 24 years old, he's going to click that because he's going to say, what the hell is this about? And if you see the title is, don't you hate going to the dentist or something like that, right?
Sure.
So that's the copy. So it doesn't really say what it's about, but we're marketing it specifically to groups of people that would be interested in it.
Gotcha.
So they click, that's why I said it's disruptive, right? Because you see this woman, you want to find out what it's about. Now, there's people that are going to scroll by anything, but this is going to get a lot of people's attention.
Now, how much, I know how Facebook kind of works. You kind of pick the dollar amount you wanted it. Now, how much money would you decide to put behind something like this and why? What's the number you usually choose?
Okay, well, so that's a good question. So this video, there's two types of videos that I'm going to talk about today. One is an awareness video, and then two is a conversion video. This is an awareness video. So awareness videos can cause conversion. Conversion is when somebody purchases on the site or whatever you're trying to accomplish. And in our case, we're trying to sell a physical product. So this video is an awareness video, which can convert, but the idea is more to get somebody interested in the brand, to check out the brand, maybe purchase. Hopefully they become aware of the MRE bar as a result of this. It's funny, and that's one of the big parts of what we're going to talk about in a moment. But the real purpose is to make somebody laugh and to remember Redcon1 and to hopefully remember the MRE bar and get interested in it.
Right.
So you have to really consider what you're willing to put behind awareness. A good example of awareness that you brought up before is RX Muscle. So RX Muscle, you have all these consumers of our products.
Right.
They buy Species, they buy Redcon1. They are the core demographic for a lot of supplement brands. Now, I don't think that I'm going to advertise with RX Muscle and you are going to make me a ton of money. I think that you are going to make people aware of the brand, who will hopefully go check out the website or check out the products. Right. And then it's up to me to figure out how to convert them to purchase on the site.
Gotcha.
So I spend a certain amount of money for awareness. This ad in particular, like I said, we have a whole bunch of different ad sets, but on an ad like this, I would spend somewhere around $500 to $1,000 a day.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money for most companies, Aaron. To spend.
It's too much money. That's why it's a bad example. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a bad example for what a number doesn't make sense. So a brand new company, you have to decide how much you're willing to spend on awareness versus conversion. Because a conversion ad where you're trying to bring in money, if you can break even or make money after the cost of goods, then it makes more sense. This is not an ad that's going to be a winner in terms of bringing in direct revenue. Gotcha. I know that. The shaker video is another one that didn't, even though people, I mean, it made a big difference. And to this day, when I go to the booth at the Olympia, people will bring it up and say that was a funny ad. But I'm not actually expecting them to watch that video, go to the website and purchase right away. It's not going to happen a lot.
Gotcha.
So for a company starting out or, a person trying to build a personal brand, you have to determine what's an acceptable amount of your budget to spend on awareness.
Well, how many people would $500 a day hit, you think?
Well, that video, I believe, on that one the screenshot that I sent you, it had, now this is one ad set of many ads that are running, but this one, I think had 619,000 views, I believe.
Yeah, 607,
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember which one I sent you, because I must have sent you the most recent one. Oh, yeah, 607,000 views, right? Now that video, to get 607,000 views, I would say it probably would run me somewhere around $3,000, $4,000 to get that many views, something like that. Maybe a little bit more than that, depending. That's a good important part. It kind of is a good segue for me. If you look at this video, you can tell. I can tell by looking at the numbers right here that this video is a monster. It's an amazing video. It's performing very well. And the way that I can do that is by the amount of likes versus the shares. So first off, the quantity, how Facebook judges content is it judges it by interactions. So there's an algorithm, the same algorithm that shows you your friend's content, or like when your friend gets married or has a baby, it goes higher up on the list of priorities because it's getting more attention. So the more interactions a video gets like this one, the better it's going to do. And Facebook is a business, just like any other business, they want to show good content. So yeah, you can show a video of me just talking to the screen about my relationship with my parents, and I can pay to show that to millions of people, but it's going to cost me a lot more money to show that than an awesome ad that's well done that people laugh and share and like. So Facebook wants to show good content to people. They want the experience of Facebook to be positive. So for example, a good video should get 10 to 20% shares versus likes. So if it gets 1,000 likes, it should get 100 to 200 shares. If it's not doing that much, it's not gonna perform well. You're gonna have to spend a lot of money on it, and so on and so forth. So
they actually charge you more if your video doesn't, if people don't like your video.
Yeah, there's something called a relevancy score. So every video and every ad has a relevancy score, and 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. If it's just me sitting here talking like this about what we're talking about, and I put this out to an audience that doesn't give a shit, like I put it out to CNN, that's my interest group. Somebody like CNN. They're going to watch this and they're going to be like, what the hell? And nobody will ever like it. Nobody's going to share it. They're going to think this is stupid. They'll probably even put, if anything, bad comments saying it's stupid, right?
Yeah, right.
So you have to know who you're sending the ad to, what they're going to like. And by having a high relevancy score, it allows it to be seen by more people cheaper.
Gotcha.
So that's why it's important to create good content. The same thing goes for YouTube. If nobody reacts to your YouTube videos, they show it to less people. It won't be on the suggested videos as much. That's why, like Nick Strength and Power always ask you to please like the video, comment below, tries to interact with people below, because the more interactions that he's getting, YouTube will prioritize his content.
Gotcha.
Good tip for you to do. you know.
Yeah, well, we did that too, but sometimes people hate us, but we we do get a lot of recommended videos, so I can't complain.
You do. I see it all the time. So it's working, right? Something is working.
Yeah.
So that's one type of video, Dave, is that awareness video.
What's the other type of video now?
The other type is the conversion video. And so if you don't mind, this is the deal video that we did just recently for our 2-year birthday party.
Okay.
So now this video, the whole point of this video was to get people to see it and then convert, go to the website and purchase right away. Right. So we attached a very strong offer to the deal. So you can play the video and
let's run it. Yeah, let's run it.
How do we get Redcon1 to take over the world? It's been 2 years, 2 long years, and still we don't have control over the world. How do we get more Redcon1 in people's hands? How do we get more Redcon in people's hands? Imbeciles! Once again, I'll have to take things into my own hands. We're late for the party. Oh, I had the craziest dream. I know what I'm going to do for the 2-year birthday, the anniversary deal now.
What?
Come on, I'll tell you on the way. Let's go. For the first time ever, on our 2-year birthday, our 2nd anniversary of Redcon1, we're doing the biggest deal ever. Buy one, get one free of anything on the site, equal or lesser value, for today only.
Thanks for the part, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. Am I paying for this?
What do you think?
Let me see that.
It's good. It was good. I liked it. Very creative.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so that, Dave, that is a great example of a conversion video because we were spending money to push that out, and we obviously posted it organically too and had our athletes post it, the tier operators post it, everybody posting that video, and it worked very, very well. That was the best sale we ever had. And it's also the most money we spent to actually push out an ad like that.
So what did you spend on that ad?
$34,000 that day.
Wow. Now that's very risky.
Yeah. So that when I say numbers like that, Dave, I want people to keep in mind that we've gotten to a place where that's an acceptable amount of money, where it took a long time to get enough data and enough revenue in the business to afford to do something like that. So obviously, if you have a really good offer, if you have really good video and really good content, that video for us turned 5 times ROI. So that video produced a lot of money, produced a lot of money. And then obviously we had all the organic people coming to the site anyway, and then our newsletters and everything else, all the organic posting around the operators and myself and all the athletes. And so it became an extremely popular one, but it's also a really good video because it shows, number one, it's funny, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I said before is tap into emotions. When you make a video, a good video, it should either be dramatic or it should be funny or something that somehow hits people's emotions. And if it's not that, it should be something that provides value in terms of education or makes people provide something to them. Because basically what you're looking to do is make somebody press the share button or to share it. If it's a YouTube video, to share the link somewhere. And so that other people can, that's the whole point. How does something become viral? People share it with other people, and that's how it becomes viral. It's like a virus, right? So the way to do that, in my opinion, there's really 2 main ways to provide value. Because then people have this thing where they share something that they think other people are going to say they're smart, right? So you share something, and it's an internal thing, but you see an article about something, you hit share because you're like, that's smart, or you say, oh, they're going to think I'm smart because I read that, right?
Right. So
that's one impulse. And the other impulse is to share funny or dramatic. So if something's dramatic, you hit share because it's dramatic, whether it be something dramatic like inspirational dramatic or something dramatic like you see people getting run over by trains and stuff on Facebook all the time, right?
Yeah.
People falling over, right? Whether that's because it's funny or because it's sad or whatever, you see that kind of stuff, people beating each other up, it's being shared constantly.
Sure.
So if you can tap into emotions or you can provide value or make people think you're smart, you're going to get a lot of shares. You got to make sure that you're disruptive. You got to make sure you pick a good thumbnail picture like the girl. Like with that one, it was me with the gauntlet, right?
Right.
The hand.
Right.
Sound effects and music are imperative. That means it's a high quality video if you have sound and music. But if they don't hit the play button to actually play the sound of music, it's also important to have an SRT file, which is your captions at the bottom. Because if you don't press the button to hear it, if you don't touch the video, if you don't stop, you won't see anything. But if you have captions, it'll play as you scroll over it, and you can at least potentially grab them with the captions without them hitting the play button.
So your video guy will add the captions in?
Yeah, so what we do is SRT file is a caption file, and they will actually watch the video and type it out. Facebook has a thing that'll do it for you, but it's almost always screwed up. So you want to look professional. You don't want the grammar to be all wrong, right?
Right.
Like Dave Palumbo, it may write something totally different.
Sure.
So that's a big deal. Another thing that we do that's important is we make a bunch of different versions of the same video. So we make a 1-minute version so we can do an IG ad. We make a swipe up ad for the IG story. We make Snapchat ads. We make ads that take up more surface area. So that ad that you just saw, I believe was the letterbox format, like this, like a movie. We also do, it's called 1080 by 1350, which is takes up most of the screen if you're on your phone. Mm-hmm. So you'll get the most screen coverage because you have a better chance of stopping people if it takes up the whole screen.
Interesting.
And then the other big thing is just don't make videos too long. People have very little attention span. I mean,
yeah, I was almost going to say that last video, while I liked it, it looked like it seemed a little long to me.
A minute and 17 seconds. You know, a minute and 17 seconds is a little longer than I usually like. I usually like to keep the minute under a minute. Yeah. But it doesn't always work out that way.
What's people's what did you say people's attention span is? 20 seconds?
I would say that you win or lose in the first 5 to 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. So I think that I'm speaking specifically on ads, so obviously like a YouTube video, like if you do a YouTube video on heart health,
that's different.
You're investing in watching ads.
Sure.
You know you're not going to jump out and do some crazy shit. You're talking about heart health.
Right.
So it's different for each thing. But if you're trying to make a video viral, usually you want to make something happen that's interesting and kind of catches their interest in the very beginning. It's like if I do a public speaking thing, the first thing I'll like to do is qualify myself, introduce myself in a dramatic way where they go, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about, right?
Sure.
Because that is enough to usually hold somebody's attention. They go, this is good. We didn't really do that this time, but usually I would start off by saying, something like that I drive millions of dollars a month in digital marketing revenue back to my business through videos and other content. And they go, oh shit, that guy, maybe we'll listen to him, right?
Right.
That may be enough to keep somebody's interest. But I like to keep these ads short, succinct, and I like the punchline to try to come, at least some sort of punchline to come as fast as possible. The tooth video, actually, you have to wait basically to the end to get the punchline. Mm. The good thing is that you see the missing teeth, and people are like, what the hell could this be? Kind of like the shaker video. But usually we like to have something interesting happen quickly.
Right, gotcha. Well, it makes sense. And I guess, once again, you can scale these videos for your own budget. You don't have to spend $34,000 on an ad like that. You can spend $500 or $100 or $50, and I'm sure you're going to get some interaction, right?
Yeah. You can spend $5 to see how they work. People start slow, as you should. You shouldn't go out there and blow your whole budget on one video and hope that's going to take you to the next level. It's not a good idea. Now,
for the Olympia, obviously you have a lot of money invested. Are you doing a lot of video advertising for the Olympia?
Not really. We have one video for the stage that I got because I'm a sponsor for the show. They let us do a stage video that they're going to play, which it's not that's not gonna make any kind of impact, I don't think. Right. It's just like a line item. Back when we were selling advertising, you like a lot of line items. So that's like a little thing that they throw in. But in terms of actually advertising, like the booth and it's very easy to do a very targeted 5-mile ad around the Olympia to get people on people's phones and stuff like that. But the truth is, I don't think that makes a whole big impact. When you're in the expo hall, you kind of walk around. If you have a place or a company that you're excited about, people walk up there anyway. So I probably won't spend a whole lot on that. We will do a whole ton of organic stuff where the athletes will be posting. We'll be posting from the booth. We'll do a Facebook Live, an IG Live from the booth. Right. We'll produce content around the Olympia, and they'll have all the athletes produce content. We'll have some takeovers on the Instagram Live and on Instagram stories. And so we definitely plan a lot of stuff out. But you have to be smart on what you spend your money on. There's a lot of availability, a lot of impressions out there for free if you have good ambassadors and good representatives in terms of athletes. And, so there's realistically, right, for a supplement company, you only need X many actual customers. If you have 100,000 customers, that's a lot of money. You just
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So people have to think that a normal customer that's purchasing off species is probably spending $70-80.
Right.
So if you have 100,000 people spending $70-80, you're doing pretty damn good.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Yeah. So
absolutely. Well, let me just change gears for a second. Mr. Olympia competition coming up, obviously. You always go to all the shows. You're a bodybuilding fan at heart. Do you feel that Phil Heath will win again this year?
Yes. I think I would say it's almost a certainty.
Now what? You don't think that Rami is going to show up?
I think he could, but I think Phil is just first off, I don't think that Phil will have the same problems with his stomach as he had last year, the midsection stuff. I bet you we see a very very tight in the midsection, probably a little smaller Phil Heath in great condition, and I just don't think Rami. I actually think Rami's going to be third. That's my prediction. I am going to predict William Bonac in second, and Rami in third. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Well, you might be right. You might absolutely be right.
And I think the big surprise of the show, in my opinion, is going to be Nathan Dash and Brandon Curry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have them in my top 6, but I think they're going to be very close. I think I have Ruli Winkler in the 6th position, but
he's humongous.
Yeah, I think he's just too hard to beat because of his size.
Yeah. Who's your 4th and 5th? Dexter and Sean?
Yeah, I have them in there. I think that we're seeing the same guys as last year, so I think we're going to see pretty much the same outcome. I don't think that Bonac could really be too much better than he was last year. Like I said, if Rami comes in off, I have no problem. I had him second last year. I had Bonac, so I don't have a problem, putting him again there. I think Sean's going to be better than last year because Roden had that ulcer problem last year. Yeah. So I don't think that Dexter will beat him this year. Yeah,
I could certainly see it going that way. I'm thinking somebody's going to shake up the top 6. I think you're going to see somebody new in there, whether it's Nathan or Brandon. I am hoping that we start to see some of the younger guys, the young guns, come up, and some of the older guys start to phase out. Because we're really only a few years away from seeing a whole new crop, I would imagine.
Yeah.
In 3 or 4 years, it's all new people.
I hope so. I hope so. We've been saying that for 5 years already.
I know.
The only new guy in there is Bonac.
I know. It just seems like the same thing over and over again. We definitely need. That's why it would have been so cool to have Kai do it, just because it would be so interesting.
Oh, it would be like a reunion of sorts.
Yeah, it would be great.
But you don't think that's going to ever happen?
I don't think he'll do the Olympia. No, I don't think so.
What about
compete again? Maybe will he do Olympia?
What if the Olympia was if it was sold or something like that, and it was changed hands? Would he do it then? You think?
I think that he might do it then. Yeah, I think he might do it then. I think he has a problem with the people, not necessarily.
That's what you had implied. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Well, that'll be interesting. Maybe they'll sell the Olympia at some point, and then
wouldn't that be something?
Kai Green will come back in 10 years. He'll be 60. They'll be he's like, finally, I could do the Olympia.
I tell you what, he looks exactly. Last time I seen him here, he came to Boca. He doesn't look like he's lost a step. He looks exactly the same as he did. So.
That's crazy. It's like Pete Rose. Pete Rose is waiting for all the people who banned him from baseball to die off for them to finally put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll get there eventually. I bet.
I think so because people will forget about it. They'll realize how ridiculous the whole thing with the gambling was, and they'll just put him in there already.
Yeah, exactly.
But what about the classic physique division? I think that's probably the most unpredictable, but yet the most exciting division out there because it's all new people, and we're constantly getting new talent in there. To me, I'm looking more forward to seeing that almost than the whole show. Anything else in the show?
Those guys are so genetically gifted. You know what I mean? It's funny because when Classic Physique came out, right? A lot of people are like, well, these are the guys who don't want to get that big for bodybuilding, and it'll open it up to more people. And I think that on the local level, that's true. Yeah. But as the pros go, these guys are genetically superior than the open guys now.
Absolutely.
It's crazy when you look at them and you see like if I look at one of these guys like a Bumstead, there's nothing I could possibly do. It's impossible for me to look like him. If I was, me at 21, I couldn't aspire to look like him. It's too impossible.
No, but you notice all the guys in the top 5 now are all bodybuilders that have dropped down. They're not classic guys anymore. They're all bodybuilders.
Yeah, Regan gives you a little hope, right? Because he moved down. And
Henry Pierreneau moved down. Breon was a bodybuilder, originally. So they're all bodybuilders at this point.
Yeah, very genetically blessed bodybuilders.
Yeah, Arash.
I don't think
Arash
Regan
wasn't.
What's that?
Arash really wasn't. Arash was a men's physique guy. So
yeah, He is super freaky
Who
too.
So who wins the Olympia?
I think Breon wins again.
Me too. I agree.
Again. I think it's very difficult. It's proven to be very difficult to beat the champ.
Yep.
And I don't think Bumstead is going to beat the champ this year. I just don't see it. And then Regan, I think, will be in the top 6, but I don't think he is going to. I honestly don't think that he'll be really in the running for that.
All right. Well,
do you think Regan will stay a classic guy? I feel like no way.
No, he can't. I don't think he can continue to make that weight class. It's just too much.
He's gained 10 pounds a year since he is 19 years old. How is he going to now maintain and keep working out?
I think it's a big mistake, but who knows? Everyone has their own goals. We can't impose our desires on him. I guess he's got to make that decision on his own. I think it'll all depend. If he doesn't place well at the Olympia, I think he'll go back up to the Open.
Yeah, I hope so, because he seemed like the going to be like a top guy. Like he was on the way to being a top guy. So.
I think so. Yeah. All right, well, Aaron, we're going to see you out at the Olympia, obviously. I know you have a lot of meetings planned, but hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you at the booth for an interview. And we want to thank Redcon1, obviously, for supporting all the coverage of RX Muscle's Iron Road to the Olympia leading up to the show, and, of course, all our coverage out at the show. And good luck with this coming weekend. Thank you so much, Dave. Looking forward to seeing you, buddy. All right, and hopefully maybe we'll make a viral video out there of our coverage. we better start coming up with a plan, Dave. I know. I have all my notes now. I have to go back and rewatch the video a few times and write it all down now. Good. I hope we do. I think you could very easily make a viral video. You got a good sense of humor, good creativity. And I got Tyler, who hates bodybuilding here. No, just kidding. No, Tyler loves to do stuff like that. He'd much rather be doing stuff like that than recording you and me talking to each other. That's for sure. Well, tell him, get on it, man. Get on it. Absolutely. Aaron, thanks for all the information. We'll see you at the Olympia, and that's going to take us to the end of another episode of RX Muscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2018, brought to you by Redcon1. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we'll see you next time.